Hello everyone, my name is Amasimas and welcome to a very different video from what I do usually. So this is a virtual machine. I don't use virtual machine on my channel a lot, but this is for a task that I need to do for school. So I thought instead of just doing it, why not just record it and have people be witness of what method I am using, of what I am actually doing. How do you make it full screen with this? This is the first time I use this window manager. I even forgot what it's called, but easy way to remember, LXQT. So it's the first time I use LXQT. Why did I choose LXQT for this exercise? Because it's simpler to use. No, because it's more minimal. I wanted a window manager that would be minimal, lightweight, because my computer doesn't have that much memory, and if I was gonna install a virtual machine on it, I wanted it to not take too much space and not be too power hungry. So this is why I chose LXQT for this. I did not set up the VM in this video, but there is multiple videos online on how to do this, but it's not that hard if you just take the time to read and Google every step. Basically, that's what I did. Because it was the first time I used, not the first time, but one of the few time I used Boxes, which is the utility I use to virtualize this environment. And it's all just a wrapper for QEMU, which is my favorite emulator. So it's just good that you have this GUI connection, but I think QEMU would have had some advantages actually to just straight up use QEMU from the terminal when it comes to file sharing, because I'm not able to make the drag and drop file sharing works with this. So do I? Okay, I always forget that I cannot. I'm just gonna raise the volume of the music. It's so inspiring. And anyway, I'm not gonna talk a lot. I'm just gonna explain a few steps of what I'm doing basically. So I'm creating a bash file. This one is gonna be specific for one task only, and I have multiple tasks that I need to complete in the context of my formation that I'm doing. It's not actually a formation. It's a test. It's an evaluation. So in the context of this evaluation, what I thought is I had all these tasks that I need to do, but instead of doing them all one by one, I'm going to create a script that's basically going to run every task at once. So I'm just going to run that script, and if it runs successfully, I'm done. I completed the evaluation. But to create that script, I need some subscript, smaller scripts that will be called inside of that larger monolithic task-specific script. So I want to make this modular because it is art. It is part of my art. It is part of how I do things. I don't have to make it modular. And of course, it's a bit annoying that these songs that I'm playing in the background, they have a lot of vocals. I should probably get myself some more instrumental. But who cares? I think you can still hear me properly. If you don't, just tell me. Is the sound too loud? That's another question I'm wondering. Should be fine. Everything should be fine. So here I'm checking. That's a variable. Not a variable. That's an operator in Bash that just checks if a variable content exists. If a variable was initialized with something in it. So if nothing was put into this, if you don't give this script a second argument, basically this won't run, and we want the opposite of that. So we want to run this condition, this box here, if it's empty, because what I want to do is if no password is passed, don't forget to say it's a variable by using the $. It's easy. That's why I love Bash. It's a nice format. The tab size here, I think I'm just gonna have to save that, escape that, and that's the task stuff that I was talking about earlier, but we won't go into that in this video, and I think some of it might be confidential because they don't necessarily want people to have a video that explain all the answers to this evaluation, even if I'm not mentioning what evaluation this is. But we will focus on that bulk user creator application. And why did I escape is because I want to go back here and create a file that is going to be called .nanorc, and in it we want to set the tab size to 4, and I need to take a look at my own nanorc because I completely forgot how I do this. Cat.nanorc, and I should have been near, but there is set before it, and just a space and the tab size that you prefer, which it better be 4. It better be 4. I'm telling you, 4 is the only tab size I endure. Okay, it's universal. And can we convert these tab to space? I think we have a tab to space. There it is. Can I copy this straight in there? No, so I need to type it manually. So tab 2 spaces. And if I save that and I go here, just make sure that I wrote that properly. See, it's tabs with an S. Let's just confirm that the tab size is not with an S. Okay, so that's a bit confusing, like tabs 2 space with an S here instead, and here we have tab size instead of tabs size. I don't know. That might be by design, but I don't necessarily need to like it. Also, I don't really like this PS1. That's how it's called, the prompt here that displays like my computer name and stuff. First of all, since I make YouTube video, I don't like having my username visible for privacy reasons, and also it takes a bunch of space. You don't need to see this at all time. You can just run a command who am I to get your name, so you don't need that, but who cares? So let's go back into the bulk user thing that we were doing, and it's already way better. Like the look just improved a bunch, and also since we added the bin bash, we have color now, which, I mean, it's not necessary. You don't need to have color, but it does help to place things in your mind. So here we have a chain of command. I didn't explain that part yet, but I'm just gonna create the part where if you don't give it a password, just prompt for it. So it's gonna be read. And makes sense. I like the read command, and you're gonna use P for prompt, and it's gonna be prompting for a password, and I'm having difficulty with that key, so I need to really hammer it down when I press it, and that should be good. And we want to send that to a variable. So I think that to do this, all I need to do is type the variable right after it. So read into password. If no password was given, ask for password, and now we can just use that password here. Also, we take the users here as the first argument, and if by default this is for bulk renaming, and ideally I wish I could have the time to make it so that you can load a file, but remember, this is just for a quick project, okay? It's just for a quick evaluation. This ain't a tool I risk using much. I don't have that. I don't think I have that many use case for that kind of tool, but I'm just creating it by principle. So if I ever needed to create multiple users, or anyone on this planet needed to do that, here's the code to do that. And if you want all these users to share the same password, which why would you want that? Don't do that. That's security purpose. It's just bad. But whatever, you do you. Here I wanted to add a comment to explain this. So you loop through every user's names inside of the user's string, and you create them with user add. So that's the first part, and set the password for the current user to the selected password to the given password. Now that makes sense. You know, sometimes you just need to think about how you're gonna phrase stuff so that it makes sense. Why am I writing these comments even though nobody's gonna actually read them? Also, you should add a comment here to explain that this if No. Password was given as a second argument. Prompt the user for a password. No, not for a, to enter a password manually. See, that's clear. That anybody that looks at this can quickly understand what every part is doing. And here what you do is you take them from arguments. So initialize variables from arguments. Ain't that good? And what happens if no users are passed? I think that's good. So a good way of testing this, instead of doing the same thing of if a user was passed, also I'm just gonna change the music, because why would we listen to the same music? So this song was it Control S? I think it was. So let's try this one. Very similar. They are AI generated, but it is a good one. So yeah, here you have, like, instead of doing that, I think it'd be smarter. Look how smart I am. To just look at the size of like, if you take this argument, this is the number of arguments that are passed. This variable, that's what it represents. So if, and now the sound is just too intense for me to concentrate and even speak at the same time. It's just to have some background noise, make the video less boring. And you want to count that. So if you have less than one argument, and I would need to confirm that though, to make sure that by default, if you give it no argument, does it count as 0 or 1? See? So I'm not even sure how I would test that unless I create a script just for that. So I'm just gonna do that, test.sh, and you just wanna print how many arguments it's getting. So some like that. And now you can test that without any danger. So if I just type the name of the application, I need to make it executable first. So chmod plus X, even though I don't use the command chmod plus X on my system. Remember, I am on a virtual machine, so the exe command does not exist here. There's no aliases for that here. So now we can run test, and 0 was passed. So by default, if you don't give an argument, it's 0. And I don't think you can go lesser than 0, but it's just good to, in case, I don't care. Just imagine, be foolproof. I like to create software that is dumb proof. So if I manage somehow to get less than 0, it's still gonna work, because if it's less than 1, no matter what it is, you still want to, so if you had like minus something, which I don't think you can, but if you did, this would still work, because, you know, just in case. It's more general than just doing if it's equals 0, do this. So what you want to do here is actually exit with escape code 0, because it's not necessarily like a bug or an issue or anything like that. You just exit because no argument was given. But please then add a little print help for the people that use the program, and just like that. That's easy, and you don't even need these. It's just the name of the function, and we are gonna create that function right here. So print help. Some people like to type the word function before their function like this, but you don't need to. So why would you? That's my logic. Is that how you create a function in Python? It's not in Python, in Bash. It's been a while. I've been coding in Python recently, so my brain is like confusing both languages, but I think that is a function in Bash, which would make sense. It's a beautiful function format. I just don't know why you have this, since you don't really pass arguments that way in Bash. So maybe you can just do that, but I don't think you can. How about we take a look at some of my other projects for reference, because I just want to make sure, you know, I just want to make sure. So let's move here and cd bin. What project am I gonna look at to make sure? How about gfunc? I'm sure there is function in gfunc, right? So we have a function here. There it is. That's how you create a function in Bash. So I just wanted to confirm that, not make any mistake, and be sure that everything's gonna run flawlessly first try. So how do you create a print help? Multiple way to do this, but the simplest way, easiest way is just use echo multiple times. I mean, that's dumb, but it works. And if you're gonna do a quick project like this, it's good enough. It's good enough. There is ways to get like multiple line text and all that. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna use the lazy, easy way. So the name of our program is always going to be 0, I think. So we use the name of our program, the name of that file. I'd like to say in parentheses bulk USR, because that is what the file is supposed to be called. So if you rename it or whatever, you know, it is supposed to be bulk USR. So it's gonna say bulk USR in parentheses bulk USR. Or maybe I could like be smart and say if it's not equal to bulk USR, add that parentheses, but that is too fancy for us today. Even that is too fancy for us today. We're not gonna do anything fancy. We're gonna keep it simple. So we have here our file name, and then we can have like the options it's gonna expect. So first option is gonna be users, and then it's gonna be expecting password. No, one password. This application uses the same password for every user. Whatever. I know it's dumb, but that's what it does. And what are your other options? We could add the H flag. Print this help. it's not really useful, right? It's not a very useful print help so far. So this will how do I want to format this? Do you use parentheses? I don't know, parentheses. So if help do this, right? Yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. That's fine for me. So if the H flag is used, print this help message. So I'm not sure about the format of how I want this. So maybe if I take a look at other print help for common functions, such as grep, does that work? So you have like usage, the name of the application, the options, try grep for more information. So you just put them in brackets here to say like the flags. That's an option. And what about does ls have an 8? I don't know why ls doesn't have that, but whatever. Cat invalid option, so cat doesn't have that either. I'm starting to run out of mkdir. So mkdir is all of these don't have help, which is interesting. So fzf, how about that? I'm sure that's a big help. So usage, I think it's good to start with usage, then have our options, then we use this, and they just use space. They just use tabs basically to separate, to make a separation. I had a function that would just do that, place text like whatever in that format, but I think I'd like to have like a parentheses for that, but apparently that is not required. So just take a look. Yeah, they just use spaces. So maybe we should too, but no, I prefer that format for some reason. Yeah. So that is at least this format. Yeah, I think that's good. Print this help message. We can add a dot here. Have our usage. And that is good. I think that is good. User password. So yeah. What else do I want to add? Yeah, here don't forget to exit 0, so you don't need to have that here. I don't have the time to rewrite my whole nano RC for that, but that should be fine. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work for what is a very, very minimal program. Hey, I forgot to look for the so yeah, here if basically if in all of this there is a H symbol, you know, you wanna print the help. So like this. Let's change the music. It's been this song is done for a while now, so we tried this one. So we tried this song. How about this one? Yep. It's again the same lyrics, just different song. They all have a, you know, slightly different vibe. I like this one. So yes. This could have been the Linux anthem, and it's inspired by a song from the Pitch Perfect movie of all things. Print help. So how do we make sure that if there is that character inside of all of the arguments passed? So it would be smart to just loop through them, have a loop, but I don't want any loops. No need for that. So I'm just gonna do if the first argument is print help. Just is equal to that. So if the first argument is equal to help, or the second argument equal, so that way no matter which, like if you use one of the arguments and add the help, it's still gonna work. So you remember, I tried to make programs that are foolproof. So that is not pretty code, I will admit it, but we can add a comment. Check for help flag, and we could have had another condition here to look for the longer flag, but I don't wanna. Like we could have an array and say if it's in this array, but I don't remember how to do that in Bash by the top of my head, and I don't want to Google it because I want to complete the script, because it's not that's not the project, that's just small components of my evaluation. I'm not being evaluated on all this, so that's wasted energy and time, but you know me, I do things with class. I'm just gonna reduce the volume here again. So you can tell me in the comment if the song was too loud, not loud enough, if you liked it, if you don't like it, if you want the link to it, to these tracks. Some of them are on my SoundCloud, because yeah, I have a SoundCloud for AI generated songs. You know, not trying to pretend I created the whole song. I just write lyrics, and you know, sometimes I take inspiration from stuff that already exists. So most of this track, the lyrics comes from the song, like I said, of the Pitch Perfect movies. Forgot the name of the band that actually sings that song. So I think we're done here. We have the print help. I mean, you don't need a comment for that. It's print help. It prints the help. That's pretty self-explanatory. But here, why do you print the help? That might be worth explaining. If no arguments are passed, print the help. You know, that has a reason for existing. I think that is good. I think we can work with that. So I'm just gonna save that, exit. And should that be a function? I don't think so. I don't think so. So that is fine as it is. So now I'm gonna go back into task, and here I give myself like absolute power over the system because I don't like typing sudo. I don't like to have to enter password when using sudo. So that's gonna help us not have to do all this. So here we have like some of the users we want to create with the same password, and I'm just gonna say we want this comment that is in the same directory as the task.sh. Since I don't have the path setup configured on this virtual machine, so that I cannot like access my bins from everywhere on the system, but who cares? It's all gonna happen in the same bin. So in the same bin, there is a file called bulk usr, and we want to give it users and password. So the users are just gonna be users. So you take them from here in this variable and you pass it. So that's gonna work. And here you put the password you want to set for them. And that is gonna succeed the first task, which was to create these users with the same passwords. I'm gonna do it. I don't think there's anything confidential in that. If I'm mistaken, I'll just remove the video or whatever. So there was a password to set for these users somewhere. Did I skip it? Like it was here, right? Where is it? It was here. Did I delete it by mistake? It was here. What have I done? It's no longer there. It was right here. But yeah, basically you do that. You copy this part. This is the password. You can't copy it because it's a virtual machine. So it's RAC 2024 Linux. So I love Linux, man. It's just having to study it is just fun, honestly. I have a good life right now, I think. Like this. So you pass it this password, and it should create these users. I forgot the command to list all users though. Is it users? Groups. Yeah, no, those are the groups, not the users. But my users is part of these groups. That's interesting. But yeah, it's the users comment. I think that's fine. And now let's try to make first task executable. So chmod plus x task.sh. And that should create the users I need. So that is the first task. Chmod plus x. There is no task.sh. Is there now? Tasks with an S. But since that's just the first task, how about I rename tasks.sh to be called task001.sh. You know, that way I can create up to 100 tasks, and that is fine. More than that, with that format I can create up to 999 tasks. That is more than I am planning to do. So chmod plus x to make it executable, task001.sh. And once that's done, I'm just gonna save a snapshot of my system to confirm that task 1 is complete. And as a matter of fact, might be cool if there was a way like to check if it returns true or not and bulk user. That way I could like return true or not if the task was completed successfully, but who cares? Let's just run that and then run the task. Moment of truth. Will it work? No such file in directory because it is not task, it is task, I think. Run that. And it's prompting me for a password, which it's not clear for what purpose, so I'm just not gonna enter that password. I'm just gonna escape. And okay, I cannot see my text now, which is not fun. Okay, let's just ls. Yeah, I'm no longer able to see my text in this terminal, so let's reopen it. cd-bin. At least now I see when I'm typing, so that is good. Task. So I think that's because the su command that I wasn't able to see what I was typing. So how about just simple print set root privileges? How about that? And here we will explain what we're doing. So echo create users, and here I'm just gonna take a look at my file that I had, and this had like another picture similar to that picture here, but above here. So I don't know what happened to that picture. So I'm just gonna file, open recent document, this one. It's still not there. I really lost something, I think. So did it reload? Nope. Crazy. Did I dream that? Did I? So if I go there and pick that file that I was working on, which is I think it was called eval something, which would make sense. It's in there. Okay, let's open it. And now I should be able to first of all close that. If I close that, is it gonna close this thing? I think it is. So let's just look if I still have that picture I was looking for of that step. There it is. So that picture was gone earlier, and just making sure I have all the proper names. So Sylvain, Chantal, Felix, Xavier, Emma, Sylvain, Chantal, Felix. So they are all there. Echo create user, and you can also, like, why not you list them, and here you have like the password with password. And instead of hard coding this, it'd be cooler, but again, like if I use K, am I gonna be able to paste that back? No, so I forgot what the paste command was. Is Control U? Yeah, I don't like that. Who would want that? Control U to paste. At least I have this help, like noobs friendly help bar here, which I remove on my version because I created my own key shortcuts for Nano. It would be worth, if I was gonna use this virtual machine for a longer time, it would be worth it to transfer my config to it. But since it's not planned that I will use this virtual machine for as my main, and first of all, I just want to complete these first, but if I was gonna use this virtual machine for longer, it'd be worth it to transfer some of my file. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could use FTP to transfer some file, probably SSH even. Even though I think FTPS would be better than all that. So yeah, just escape that. And now run that command again and hope that everything's gonna work fine. So now it's asking me for my root password, which I don't remember on the top of my head, but at least now it's clear. Set root privilege, what I'm doing. And if I want to cancel that, I'm still gonna have the same issue as earlier, where I lose my, so if I do exit, it closes the terminal. Okay, so I don't know why that is. I don't know why once I run this command and I don't complete it, it just makes the terminal unfunctional, basically. But that is going to be the end of this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever, I don't care. Hope you have a good day, and stay free, stay on Linux, folks. Have a good day. Yeah, I need to go up, and then I can change window. Okay, and let's listen to that song for a little bit. They cloak their greed in a false disguise, exploiting the weak while they silence the wise. Come on, they will not control us. They will not. Freedom, they will not control us. We will be victorious.